How's it going, everyone? Hope you're alright. It's Cody there, back again, dropping yet another video. Today's video is going to be on what happens when you leave prison. So I'm talking about like the day you leave prison. Right, so there's 4 ways you can leave prison, right? In a body bag, that sounds quite cold and harsh, but it's a reality. People die in prison, drug overdoses, things like that. Over the wall, prison escape. Just got to look at the news recently and you'll know what I'm talking about. Then you've got getting out on a bail application, where you don't really know you're going to get out or not. It's a flip of a coin. And then obviously you're released because you've got your tag, you're released on temporary license, or it's your day to leave, because if you're convicted to 10 years, you do 5 years to the day he was convicted. If you get a year, if you get 12 months, you do half of that. So yeah, right, so the way that I left prison personally, the last time, was because I served my sentence. I got 8 months, I did 4, and I walked. So as a cleaner on the induction wing, the night before I was going to leave and stuff, I thought, right, I'll start packing a bag. But because I've worked with the cleaners and stuff, and I was part of it was like a little family and stuff, even though we argued and stuff and we bitched and we fell out and stuff, it was all love though. It's family, innit? When you live in close proximity with someone, you shower with them, you eat with them, you everything. Like you associate with each other, your friends, you spend a lot of close time in a close like proximity, so you can have fallouts and stuff like that. But like I say, it's all family and it's all love. Right, so on the night I was leaving, the lads knew I was leaving, obviously, because I told them. So what ended up happening, you get a leaving present, not the present that you'd ever want. My leaving present was like, I was in my pad, about 12 of them rushed in my pad, all pinned me down. I'm a 6'4", 20 stone guy, right? But they all pinned me down on a bed. And they all had gloves on, and they had loads of DP, which is like for those that don't know, it's like it's extremely hot when you put it into your muscle and stuff. They got my ass, my asshole, my cock, my balls, and all my groin. I was in agony, to say the least. But like I say, it was a goodbye present, a leaving present, if you will. Spent the rest of the night splashing my cock and balls and my ass in the water, in my sink. People found it hilarious. It was funny looking back. So obviously I knew when I was getting out, because for those that don't know, when you're convicted, right, you get what you call a release date. It works out the date you were sentenced, how long you got, how many days, like, because obviously even a year they do 365 days, things like that. So it works out that you get a release date, right? So you know when you're going to get out. If you're on remand, you don't get a release date, because obviously you could go to trial. Then it depends whether you're convicted or not, or it depends if you get a bail and then your charges are later dropped. So anyway, so I'd served my sentence. I was out in the morning, so literally that night, packed my bags. If you've got things like shower gels, plate, things like that, you seem to leave these to the lads, yeah. It's like you pass them on to the lads. Anything you've got, like food-wise, yeah, from your canteen, or shower gels, toiletries, razors, like Mach 3 Gillette razors, you give them to the lads, because like I say, even though you're in prison, a lot of lads have got nothing. Some lads have got bits, but they want other bits and stuff. They might need a few bits. So that's what you do. Like my wash bag I give to the lads. Everything that I had was gone to the lads. The only thing I left with was my clothes. So I spent the night packing my stuff into a bag. Then I put my bag on the side. I cleaned myself, because obviously as a cleaner, I knew that it was going to be moving into my cell, so I wasn't going to leave my cell in shit state. In the morning, I woke up, I went down, I had my breakfast, I got my cereal, went back to my pad, ate my cereal, and then literally there's about 10 to 8, the screw said, right, you can go down to reception. So I was saying goodbye to the lads on the landing. They was all hugging me and saying like bye and stay in touch and everything. Lads were writing down the prison numbers and stuff like that, mobile numbers for family and the loved ones for when I get out, so we can all like link up and have a meet up and stuff. Obviously I met one of the lads, he got out recently. I've met him for a few beers and stuff. So then I went down to the gate. One of the lads said, I'll carry your bag. He was a mate of mine. I could carry the bag on my own, but he just wanted to see me down reception. Screw said, yeah, said bye to the Screws, a lot of decent Screws within Forest Bank. Walked down to the reception, knocked on the door. Screw came, opened the gate, opened the door, let me in. And then he put me in a holding cell. Then other prisoners that were getting out this day came into the holding cell. And then one at a time, you walk out with your bag of clothes. You go out into the corridor, then you go to like there's a window. It's like where your prop is, like things that you've come in with that you've like put into storage. You get that back. You get your cash. So if you leave prison, you get £46 and £5.20. It's from the prison. It's free money. It's like government, like the £46 and £5.20. To get a bus to where you're going. Then you'll get your not your bail conditions, your license conditions. So it might be live and stay every night at a hostel, like a bail hostel. And then, so that's one thing. It could be if you've had if it's down to like you've kicked off with your ex, it might say, right, you're not allowed to go near her, don't do this, don't do that. So there you get your license conditions, you'll get your money. I had £100 savings. I had my £46, which was coming to me from the prison. My last wage, which is like £10.25. What else did I get? My credit for my phone that's on your PIN, you get back as well. And then obviously like things that were in my prop, I got them. Then they give you 2 prison hold doors, like, and say, right, go down to that holding cell down the bottom. Other lads that had gone before me were in there, so we've gone down. They're all packing their stuff. I start packing my stuff. Some of the lads are sat there reading license conditions and stuff. I just wanted to get everything into my bags. Obviously, everyone's buzzing. There's like a campfire attitude. Everyone's like buzzing and can't wait to get out. I didn't even know half the lads, but it was all having a laugh and buzzing because we're getting out, we're going home, back to our loved ones, back to our family, back to the kids and everything else. Then what they do at Forest Bank, they used to let 5 at a time, but now they do 10 at a time. So there was 10 of us in this room. There was another 10 in another holding cell over the way from us. They was all buzzing and stuff, packing their bags. We was packing our bags. Then one at a time, because I was in the first group. They let you go out. You go to this desk. You put your fingerprint on the desk, onto the so it IDs you who you are as a prisoner. Because obviously they don't want to release the wrong people, do they? Or release people wrongly, which does happen as well. You just got to look at the news again to check that out. Then they ask you your date of birth and stuff, right? Then they say, right, go back into the holding cell. So 10 lads go out, we get ID'd, we put our fingerprint on, they ask you your date of birth, you go back into the holding cell. Then when everyone's done, then eventually they come and open the door, you go out, they lead you through a gate, then you're still in the prison right at this point, then you cross over like a path, go in through another gate and then go into the reception building. The reception building is where you have your visits and stuff like that. The visit hall was empty. It was strange to see because obviously normally when you're in there it's full of people, visits and stuff with the loved ones. We go over to the counter, right? You've got two doors. You've got one where prisoners come in and you've got one where friends and family come in. And as convicts, we're not used to going out this door or coming in that door because we're convicts, yeah? So we go over and then at this point, right, you put your fingerprint on another thing. They hand you any keys or wallets, things like that, or mobile phones. They hand them to you there. You sign for them. Then when you're all done, you all walk through this door. You go through the gate, through the barrier, through the gate, and then next minute you're outside. Every prison is different. Some prisoners walk through the gate and stuff and are released that way. So we've walked out through this reception bit, and then we walk outside and we're free. And you take a big lungful of air and you look around and stuff, and like some people have been locked up for years, some people have been locked up for months, and the longer you've been locked up, I think it takes longer to get back into society and stuff. You've been living in a bubble at a slow pace and stuff. Some lads have spent most of the time locked up behind the doors and stuff. I was a cleaner, so I was out pretty much all the time that I was in, because obviously I was grafting and working and stuff. So that was it. We walked out, people's friends and family are there, loved ones hugging each other, things like that. I walked out, my mum was there, I threw my bags in a car. That was pretty much it. I was gone. First things first, I had to go probation. Everyone, like, unless you get released, or if you get out on a bail application, you don't have to go to probation, but everyone's on license and stuff, or So yeah, we fucked up. So I had to go to probation. I went to probation, dealt with that, and then that was it. Then I was free to do what I wanted to do. I went. I went, got a Costa coffee. I was dying for a coffee. Well, I got a hot chocolate. Went for some food with my mum to say thank you for standing by me and helping me and sending me money in. Yeah, it was a slow process. It's like it's right. Imagine life, right? Like everyone lives the life at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Yeah. Imagine running a race in life. Yeah, everyone's running, right? Because everyone's living their life and doing what they're doing. And even though lads are in prison, they're cracking on with their lives. Yeah, that's how it goes, right? And you cherry picked, yeah, and you dropped, yeah, into prison, and you live in a bubble, right, where you've got regime and it's regimented and stuff like that, and you spend most of your time behind your door, depending on what jail you're in, what category prison you're in, things like that. And then it comes to your release, and you cherry picked up, and you dropped back into society, and everyone's carried on running, and you land on your ass, and it can take you hours, days, months to get back into society, and because it's very like everything's moving at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and you've been in a cell watching TV for fucking months or years. It's a strange one. It's like, yeah, it takes you a while to adjust. The other way that I left prison before the last sentence that I've just referred to was I got out on a bail application, what happens, right? I was remanded into custody, right? There's no evidence against me. It was a holding charge, right? But I was still getting knocked back on bail applications, right? Because the police wanted me off the streets. So it went on, and I kept getting knocked back on bail apps. Then there was a change in circumstance, and then I went for another bail application. You get 2 or 3 bail applications, and then you can only apply for bail again if you get a change in circumstance, i.e., I was on a witness intimidation charge. They lowered the charge to attempted witness intimidation. That was a change in the charge. That was a change in circumstance, and I was able to apply for bail again. The bail application was heard on this morning. I was in prison, and it's dealt with by the judge. The judge looks at it on its merit, on the paperwork and stuff. I wasn't expecting to get out, but I booked a visit for 1 o'clock. I've gone to the visiting hall. The girl that I was seeing at the time, this was years ago, and my co-defendant, the person that I was up on charges with, his sister and her husband were there. And so they was like, look, I was hoping they were going to tell me the answer, whether I was getting bail or not, but they said, look, when we left, it's still not been heard, so we've come here, so we don't know if you're getting out. So my head was in my hands. I was like, fucking hell, because you're fuming, you're thinking, hold on, there's no charges on me, because the police are corrupt as fuck, right? Why am I still in prison? Anyway, after about 5 minutes of them dragging it out, they said, we can't do it anymore, right? You've got bail. So I was buzzing, yes, get in. So I went back after the visit finished, right, I've gone back to my wing. I was on F1 at the time. F1 is down the main. It's a basic wing, but I wasn't on basic. Basic, for those that don't know, are people that have been in shit, and they've had the TV. They've got no TV, and they're only allowed out an hour a day, half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening. Anyway, so I've gone back. My SO, right, was he was in the office upstairs. So I've gone into his office, knocked on the door. I said, listen, I know his name, so I just said, but you say boss. I said, boss. I said, apparently I've got bail on a bail app this morning. So he rang custody while I was there, and he said, yeah, you've got bail. He said, right, go down to the office, get some bags, go back to your cell, and pack your stuff. So I went back to my cell with my bags, packed my stuff. My pad mate was in there. That morning I just ordered a fucking £45 canteen, full of food and scran and stuff. Now, the kid I was padded up with was a lifer. He murdered his dad with a hammer. His dad tried to nonce off his fucking sister, and he killed him with an hammer when he was coked up. Top lad, actually. Really, really nice lad. Became a Buddhist and all this stuff, and different outlook on life. Anyway, I give him my food, I give him his scran. I was hugging him, saying goodbye and everything. He was a top lad. I miss him. I'm still in touch with him. From there, I walked out of my cell. I went over to a few of the doors because the lads were banged up, saying, look, like, stay safe, yeah, see you on the out, yeah, get me on Facebook and all that stuff. That was it. I went down to, the screw let me off the wing, give me a movement slip. I went up to reception, and because I was released in the afternoon, everyone that had been released that day, because they knew they was getting out, they'd gone home. So there was only me. So I got rushed through, man. They put me in a cell, get all your stuff, bang it in there, blah, blah, blah. And then they got me down the bottom. They ID'd me, everything else, right? They take your ID off your prison ID card and stuff. That was it. Then at that time, they let you out through the gate. So Screw walked me down to the gate. I was trying to make chat with him and stuff because I was buzzing off my tits. But he worked for talking. He was a miserable fucking Jobsworth cunt. They let me through the gate. And that was it. I was free. And then I was met by the girl that I was with at the time, my Cody's sister and her husband. And that was it. I was free. And then a few weeks later, the police actually dropped the charges against me. So this is just an insight into people that may go to prison, like how you leave prison and stuff like that. Like I say, body bag, it happens. People overdose and stuff, spice and other drugs. Don't take it. Escape, but again, you're wanted. You're going to be looking over your shoulder all the time. Released on temporary license, tag, or your time's up, like i.e. you've served your sentence. And then you move on from there. For those that are served, like when you're sentenced and stuff and you get out, you've got like, say you've done 6 months of a 12-month sentence, you've got 6 months on license, and then you've got a 12-month or an 18-month top-up supervision order, which means you've got to carry on going to probation. At first it's once a week, then it'll be once every 2 weeks, then it'll be once every 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and on from there. There's no education, there's no training available. I didn't get resettlement, they don't owe you in any way like that. You kicked out the gate and then that's it, you fend for yourself. They didn't even ask me if I had somewhere to live, so I could have been homeless and stuff and gone back to crime and ended up back in prison. Anyway guys, gives you an insight. Speak to you all soon. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Speak to you all soon. Bye.